Hey YouTube, Casey Classic 7 here, back in with another video. Got some NBA 2K19 here. In this video, I want to discuss 5 tips every single 2K League prospect needs to follow if they are looking to get drafted into the NBA 2K League this season, in Season 2. Unfortunately, well, it's not really that unfortunate to me, but I wasn't able to make it into the draft pool this year. It also wasn't something that I was really driven to do either. And before I get started, I know a lot of people felt like those 100 games were a lot, but in my opinion, I felt like it was definitely perfect. 100 games, 25 days, I think that was plenty of time. And you had to win over 50% of your games. That was very reasonable for people who are looking to make the draft pool. I know some people felt like it was a difficult feat, but if it was something that you were passionate and wanted to do, you definitely had plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to do that. Was it a little bit more difficult for the random person who didn't have a pro-am team or didn't have a group of people to play with? Yes, you can say that, but overall it was extremely manageable in my personal opinion. But I've kept you guys waiting long enough. 5 things every 2K League prospect needs to follow if they're looking to get drafted. Number 1, have a game plan. This is not just in the 2K League, but this is if you want to be successful in life. You need a game plan. But making it more specific to the 2K League, whatever your game plan is, stick to it, follow it. And not only that, be willing to change your game plan if you need to do so. And this isn't just limited to a personal game plan. Have a game plan as a team too. Game to game, establish a game plan and try to execute that game plan to the best of your ability. And maybe personal game plans, you want to be the best shooter within the league, within the league combine. Maybe you want to average the most assists as center. Maybe you want to have the most rebounds as a center. Maybe you want to lead the combine with points scored, assists, whatever the game plan is, whatever you want to accomplish, goals, game plans, you need them if you want to be successful. Without having a goal or game plan, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to be able to stick out when it comes to the combine. Number 2, get your teammates involved, but you also need to get yours. This is an extremely fine line. You don't want to get your teammates so involved to where you get lost in the shuffle, but you also don't want to focus so much on getting yours that you're not doing the little things, making the extra pass, covering for your teammate who's beat. Whatever the case is, you need to have a good balance of both. And your teammates will notice this as well. If you're so focused on getting yours, they might freeze you out, and that doesn't help anybody. As a team, you guys are discombobulated. You're frustrated yourself because you're not getting the ball. Your team's frustrated with you because they feel like you're so focused on yourself. Nobody wins in that situation. So to avoid that, find a good balance of getting your teammates involved and getting yours as well. Number 3, which is one of the more important tips, be able and willing to communicate. Have that mic on every single game. Communicate with your teammates every single game. It's one thing to have the mic on, but you need to be talking on that mic while you have it on. Maybe a switch needs to be made. This is similar to Jordan Rec, to where you're unable to make the switches with the point guard. All switches have to be done manually. So whatever you need to communicate, maybe you're wide open in the corner for 3 possessions, you didn't get the ball. Maybe you're cutting to the basket, beating your defender every single time you're not getting the ball. Maybe you're unable to guard somebody. Maybe you feel like you can do a better job guarding somebody that someone else cannot guard. Whatever the case may be, establishing that game plan, like I said back with tip number 1, whatever the case may be, you need to communicate that with your teammates, and communicate it to where they're going to understand it as well. You need to know real quickly who you're playing with and establish chemistry with them for those 20 minutes that you're going to be playing with them for, if not longer, I guess, if you want to consider overtime as well. Number 4, which is also one of the more important ones to me. These are all important, but number 4, 3, 4, and 5 I feel like are more important than the other 2. But I guess they're all equally important, to be honest. I guess it just depends on how you view it. Know your archetype. Number 4, know your archetype. Your guy's capped out at 90 overall. He's not going to have all his badges maxed out. Know what your archetype can and can't do. This is not the same player that you play with on the park and on your team pro-am, your my player. This is not that same player. The ratings on them will be adjusted a little bit, and you need to know what your archetype can and can't do. Maybe if you're that pure sharp, you're used to standing on the hash, you might have to take a step in and hug the line. Maybe you're used to dribbling with that pure sharp more than you probably should be able to. Might not be able to do that. Whatever the case is, maybe you're on that defender, you're able to hit consistently from the corner. Maybe you have to pump fake and take a step in every so often. Whatever the case is, you need to know your archetype. Also, with knowing your archetype, know your green windows. Know where you can green from every single time. Every archetype has a green window. Know where your green windows are from and try to get to those spots as much as you can. Obviously, every archetype can hit and score a little bit outside of what they probably should be able to, but don't make that something that is a regularity, especially when it comes to 2K and playing Pro-Am. It's all about certainty. So if you know that you can hit from a spot every single time, you need to make sure that you are maximizing your opportunities to get to those spots. It's extremely important, especially when talking about a video game setting. You don't want to take tough shots if you don't have to. And number 5, also important, I feel, show versatility. You might want to go in as that pure sharp, that playmaking sharp, whatever the case is, shot creating sharp, whatever you want to go in as. You may want to go in as whatever it is that you want to go in as, but also be willing and also try out different positions. Get your 40 games in at whatever you want to get them in at. Get your stats where you want to get them at within those 40 games, and be willing to move on to the next position. If I'm a GM or a coach, I want to have the most versatile players on my team. This gives yourself and gives a team flexibility to put you anywhere on the floor, and they know that they have a quality player out there. That's extremely important, and it doesn't limit you as well. 'Cause I know some people might think like, maybe if I'm being too versatile, I'm spreading myself thin, but obviously you have something that you specialize at. Every 2K player has something, or every basketball player has something that they specialize at, but having that versatility along with that thing that you specialize at is definitely going to increase your chances of getting drafted, in my opinion. Try to get 40 games try to get 40 games in at as many positions as you can as possible. I definitely saw a video with Brian Mazik talking about this as well, and that's something that I want to piggyback off of. It's something that I definitely agree with. Get those 40 games done at as many positions and at the archetypes that you're most comfortable at, as many games as possible. However you want to do it, show your versatility is something I definitely feel is important. And one tip, the final tip, most of all, most importantly, have fun. Don't get so wrapped up in, oh, I want to be drafted, that you are not having fun. You're gonna play your best when you're loose, in my opinion, and when you're laughing, having fun, and just overall able to enjoy yourself while playing the game. Not so much to where you are disengaged, but definitely have your fun. Enjoy your teammates and get to learn your teammates for a little bit of time that you're able to play with them within those 20 minutes, and just overall enjoy yourself. You're able to possibly freaking play video games for money. NBA 2K at that's insane in itself. So have fun, enjoy yourself, and definitely do your best, because that's all that you can do. That's all I got for you guys. Definitely stay tuned, because I want to follow the 2K League Combine a lot this year. Something that I'm extremely passionate about, if I did not say that already at the beginning of the video. And I definitely will be back very soon. KC Classic 7 signing out.